Stock markets are at a really interesting point right now. Where do we want to be in the market? What do we want to do? We need to be really smart right now. We're going to look at the NASDAQ, at the high-tech stocks. We're going to look at gold. We're going to look at the dollar. Where are our trades? Let's talk about it. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. Okay, so we're going to start with a look at the NASDAQ. This is the NASDAQ 100. And as you can see, first off, things are looking pretty good. That's the start. Okay, so let's go through what we see here in the charts. We broke the downtrend since February, positive. We are above the Great Liberation Day, where Trump liberated a lot of people from their wealth in the stock market. We're now back above it, positive. The purple line here, that's the 50. We're above the 50. All positive signs. However, there's one last hurdle left, and that's the big one, and that's the gold line. That's the 200. And as you can see, we have stalled out there the last two times. Now, when this happened about a week ago, as you can see, the sell-off was not very significant. That tells us right now we need to favor the upside. So the stock markets are looking better. The NASDAQ is looking better, which means risk assets are looking better. Let's take a look at the dollar. And we see, whoa. Big time. I mean, big time signal in the dollar. Look at this. The downtrend since March broken today. The resistance zone that I pointed out to you in past videos, the horizontal one right here, broken today. We made the third higher high in a row, positive. There's action coming into the dollar. And it makes sense if you look at the news, right? The US and the UK reaching tariff agreement. That's positive. Obviously, risk assets start to pop. Risk goes out of the market, right? That is important. So the VIX went back below the 50 and back below 30. 30 is the magic number, okay? So when the VIX reaches 30, that's when the institutional investors start to panic. We're now way below this. As you can see, the volatility is declining, not only in its absolute number, but also look at the candles, right? Look at these group of candles in the past weeks compared to the crazy candles here in April and Liberation Day. So with all this happening, obviously the biggest loser is gold, and we see it in the charts, right? We had the 2-day pop, which was probably a combination of short covering, the India-Pakistan news, and the latest uncertainty about the tariffs. But now, some good news about the tariffs. Risk assets coming back into the market. Gold is going out of favor, which I love. Why do I love this? Because I want to buy more gold mining stocks. So I like when gold goes down. Again, we're at 3,300 right now. Okay? The beginning of the year we're at around 2,700. Look where the 200 is. We're all the way down here. Gold could go as low as 280, 2,800. And it wouldn't even change the uptrend. Now this is not going to happen. Right? But it could. What I'm saying is we're in a big time uptrend in gold. But right now, we could be taking a big breather for a while, and I would love that because I want to load up on the gold producers. Because as I told you, when I was in Zurich in April at the big mining conference, where a lot of the big blue chip companies presented in front of institutional investors and invited people, they're calculating with gold prices around 2,800, 2,900, 3,000 max, absolute max. That's like the best case scenario. Usually they give like a 2,600, 27 low end, 3,000 high end, and then like 2,800. It's like the middle case. We are basically 20% higher than the middle case. That is great for the gold producers. That story is intact. They are printing money, especially if this gold bull market keeps on going, which it will. So what do we do right now? What is the trade? Well, the first trade is if the NASDAQ is able to break the 200, we're going to see a lot of action in the high-tech stocks. So we want to get our watch list ready. We want to watch the NASDAQ. If you want to trade the Qs, close above the 200. If you're more conservative, you wait for the confirmation, you get in. Don't get super cute. If you want to do the stocks, Max 7 stocks, chip stocks, that's where you want to be. And the other place where you want to be is Bitcoin. It's breaking out. Why? Well, it's risk on. Second, that's good for crypto. Second, gold is going down. Gold and silver, inverse relationship, right? I've been telling you, and this is the latest example, if you want to make the biggest profits in the stock market, combination of gold and Bitcoin will get you there. I know there are a lot of gold bugs that dismiss Bitcoin and don't accept it. And I'm saying, all right, your fault. If you want to miss out on all the money that's being made there, that's up to you. I just want to make money in the markets. And I can clearly see that a combination of Bitcoin and gold makes us the most money. What's the hot trade right now? Bitcoin is the hot trade. What is not hot? Gold is not hot. That's the truth. That's the facts. So that's what I look at as the hot long trade. Now short term, Bitcoin is overextended to the upside. We can see it clearly in the RSI. Oops, sorry about that. Right here. However, as we have seen here, when Bitcoin starts to party, it can stay above the RSI quite a bit. I would definitely not short Bitcoin here. You never want to do that. If you want to make money on the short side of Bitcoin, it's got to be in the downtrends in this area right here. Let me get rid of the moving averages to make this a little more visible. So if you want to go on the short side, these type of trends, right? The breakdown here and then you make some money. You don't want to try to hit the top, time the top. It just doesn't work that way. So Bitcoin is where it's at. Now, what about silver? Tricky, right? Now, the good news is silver was able to recover and regain the uptrend, the midterm uptrend that has been in place since 2024. That's good. Now it's fighting to break the March to May downtrend. But really the story is this resistance zone that I've been talking about for, I don't know, a year. I mean, look how it is just completely stalling out silver. Once, bull trap, twice, 3, 4, 5. This looked like the big breakout and we got moved back in. This is the Liberation Day, that doesn't even count. So let's count this as 6, big bull flag, 7. Now it's our 8th try, and it looks like we failed again. All right. So all the uptrends, downtrends, that's all cute. We gotta get over 34 to really change the momentum, but the real action happens if we close over 35. If we close over 35, there's a legit chance that we want to get a short squeeze, a big time short squeeze. I'm not going to be here and say epic proportions, but man, this one could be big. So what does that mean for me? Right now, the same thing as in gold. I look at my silver favorites. I do my homework and I start adding to positions that I have or buy new positions. Because I am also bullish on silver, and we know that the gold silver ratio now has historic highs towards gold, where in the past silver has started to catch up to gold. So that's it for now. Bitcoin is the action. NASDAQ, let's watch the 200 very, very closely. In gold and silver, we're doing our homework and we're buying our favorite mining producers. Don't buy the explorers, producers or senior developers close to production. Those are the ones that are going to run. We're going to buy those on weakness. That's it for today. Talk to you later. And how about them Knicks, huh?